So this video is drawn up by just filming whenever some idea for what I want for my next van or modifications to this van came up, and then stitched together, and it's not chronological at all. And it's going to be interesting to see if I come up with more wishes along the way editing this video. We also have wishes for these vans, but that's not taken into this video. Maybe later. And that will also be notes to myself, because I'm really poor at writing down stuff and being organized. So let's see. Trying to sleep, and I have a bit of an issue placing my feet because Birkeland is taking the whole bed, and Feynman gave up and he's sleeping in the driver's cabin. That leads me to another point on the wish list. I want a big bed. I know some people will react. I don't want to sleep with the dogs. I've done that since I got Einstein. I sleep better with the dogs. I think it's a good way to connect with the dogs. So a double bed is a must. Even though the boys are happy with the new accommodations and the bed, and I haven't had a good bed in the van since I got it, so this is gonna be luxury. Okay, just training dogs everywhere and have to stop here and there. One thing I really need for my car is a shitter. Luckily I know where some of these emergency toilets are. This is gonna be sweet. Actually, I'm rendering videos just to free up disk space. So I promised myself I wouldn't film, but there's some moments you just have to catch on video. Fireman just rolled off the bed and just decided to stay like that. But that reminds me of one thing I want on the next van. I think I will actually have the bed across the back, and I like to snuggle with the boys, so it needs to be big enough for the three of us. Seen that Mercedes have a entertainment system that includes the NMEA 2000 network. Another item for my wish list, a proper dash cam with loop recording, where I can, with a simple push of a button, also get the recording from retrospect. So if I get into a situation or something I want to comment, I can get like 1 minute or 30 seconds from the point where before I push the button. Also, I want there to be like a recording function if I know I'm gonna record. I have the Insta360 1R and the 360 lens mounted on the dashboard now. That just picks up all the rattling in the car, as you can hear. It doesn't keep straight on the road, so I need to keyframe all footage, which is really time consuming. Also, these things I can connect to it, the remote and the Instamic. I need to go into the setting every bloody time I start up the camera and add these new devices or tinker around so they connect again, which is just too time consuming, and it makes it impossible to keep a good flow on the vlogging. I know Garmin have some decent cameras, and I don't know if you have the possibility there to kind of also get a map overlay of where you are, where it picks up the position, which would be really cool to orient people where you are. filming. But when it comes to ecosystems, I'm really start to get into DJI. I mean, the DJI mini microphones, they connect to the DJI, my new DJI Neo drone, seamlessly. It's good quality and it washes out the propeller sounds. What I really wish that DJI could come with is time code. Because if you want to film with multiple cameras, to align all the videos and figure out where they are in the timeline, it's so time consuming. For vlogging around the van, it would be awesome if I could have 3 or 4 cameras and I could just start them with one button and they could record from different microphones, and it was really easy to get that placed in the timeline and shift between camera angles. So I won't change the camera gear I have at the moment, but as the DJI ecosystem, or if there is other brands that will come up with the stuff I really want from the camera system, I'm definitely interested in moving on to that. Because now it's just too much work. Then it would be nice to have some kind of stand for the iPad, so I can just watch YouTube in bed, and maybe a Starlink or something, because it's just 4G in this spot, so you can see how slow it's loading. But a Starlink would definitely not be a high priority, but I see when uploading videos and trying to get somewhere on this YouTube thing, to have a good internet connection and be able to work, it's really important. So it's on the list. So what I want is a charging cabinet with like a ton of outlets, and the collars have a hook where they are hooked up and the charging cable is ready. Yeah, so everything is systematic and it's charging when it is in its place. Because I most definitely need things to be organized and easy. Because it's so easy for me to get things overwhelming and it just like flows out and everything is chaos. So that is going to be super important with the build, if it's this van or another van. I have been thinking about buying, I think it's called Lumenix or something. It's like a wireless rack for... It's a rack where you can put flashlights, both headlamps and handheld torches, that will charge wirelessly in the rack. So I was thinking about having one of those up over the door there. So like 2 torches, 2 headlamps, always charge, you know where they are, and they are really easy to put back in their place. That's the way I need it. Another thing I need to get is some kind of wagon which I can stack boxes and put all this stuff, because I don't know how many trips I had back and forth to the van just to get all the stuff with me. And that points to another thing which I'm starting to think about, if I should have boxes instead of drawers. Because as I said in some of my previous videos, I don't want to install a separate cooktop and other fancy equipment like fixed gas and stuff like that. I just want to have my regular cookers, because these I can run on white gas and kerosene. So when I want to cook a bit away from my car like now, if I can just pull out that box with all this stuff, it's so much easier to initiate something like this, and it also makes the build easier. I think I said it in my first video, but I'm going for function, not fanciness, and that would definitely be in line with that. You see something missing? Yes, it's a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch is a super must, and I really want to buy a trailer that I can have all dog training equipment and my snowmobile and so on. And what I definitely reckon is that the trailer hitch need to have a step, because that's my knees are not gonna deal with this for long. because if I want to get up to equipment that is stored in close to the roof, not getting younger. I do reckon I want a proper workstation, like a desk or something, because this is not the ideal position to work. It's been crazy with mosquitoes, so another thing for a wish list is most definitely a mosquito net, so I can have the doors open. The inside is not filled with mosquitoes. When it comes to a computer and stuff, what I know from my time in the military is that a ruggedized laptop costs like at least 5 times as much, maybe not, but it's all technology. But for running maps and stuff like that, a ruggedized PC laptop would be awesome. What I do reckon is I want some kind of arrangement where the, let's call them co-pilot, can actually access the ruggedized laptop. It's something I acknowledge from the ambulance that I miss that the person who have patient responsibility that day can just like go into our systems and find the information, whatever we need, like the police do in their car. And I think the same would go for the kind of activities I want to do with this van. And of course, I need bigger tires. I need some mud and snow tires, huge ones for my manhood. It makes the van look cooler. Also, a step on the side door. Definitely, if you get the car elevated with bigger tires, most definitely need a step. But I want a retractable one. I don't know the brand, but I've seen them on YouTube. That also gives protection for the channel, so that would be nice. So I have a dog that's named Feynman, so of course I need to get the car decorated with Feynman lines. I think that would be a nice touch. You can even put the Feynman lines on the plastic. That would be cool. Or some people would just call it hillbilly or whatever.
Ordered a van that we could all go camping in, and they had it painted, which was so odd because they weren't like this at all. Father may have been immune to embarrassment, but I certainly was not. And they had, the diagrams painted on it.
So most people thought they're Indian designs, but I remember once we'd just gone to McDonald's and we're in the parking lot and walking out to the car, and someone asked us, "Why is your van covered in Feynman diagrams?" My mother says, "Because we're the Feynmans."
Corny. Some people would call that corny, but we don't care about that. Do we, Feynman? No. So this video was a bit chaotic, and I wanted to finish up the video months ago, but the case with the car is just dragging out in time and it's been really chaotic. So I choose just to deliver a 30% product and get it out there, so I can start with a new video about the legal process. I also have some other interesting things happening in my life. I now live at the farm where I actually work for the cabin I live in, which is really great because it's kind of work when I can pick up when I have the time, and I save some money on living in the cabin, and it buys me time to get things sorted out with the car. So please bear with us that this video was kind of crap, and I hope the next video with the legal issues with the car will be better, and I will actually start just fixing stuff on the car because this will drag out in the long run. So if you followed all the way, thanks. If you didn't, I totally understand. Take care.